Thanks. Thanks, Yamcha. Yo, this is wild, brother. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. It's time to finally resume the reviews of Dragon Ball Super, the manga, of course. Today, I'll be talking about manga chapter 56 that dropped recently. I hope most of you have already read the chapter because, of course, we'll be talking about spoilers and everything that actually happened in the chapter. As per usual, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you thought about this review once you're done with it. But let's get right into it. So, manga chapter 56, the battle against Moro and his army has commenced, and honestly, this chapter was, I don't know, it kind of gave me like this strange feeling, like, which I haven't felt, well, probably it's not fair to say I haven't felt this way about Dragon Ball in a while, but in terms of the cast of persons that were included in this chapter, trust me, this was a fun and exciting battle chapter to read. So we have the forces of Moro who have actually made their way to Earth, and as well as the Galactic Patrol. I don't know if it's the entirety of the Galactic Patrol, but a lot of spaceships and members of the Galactic Patrol are there on Earth helping out the Z fighters as they combat the forces of Moro. And to everyone's surprise, I'm pretty sure every Dragon Ball fan who's keeping up the Dragon Ball Super manga or series on a whole, like, this chapter is like is something that you would not expect in terms of who was included. We have the return of Yamcha, which is wild to me, honestly. Yeah, which is really wild because I'm pretty sure that person would not expect to see Yamcha in this fight, but honestly, Yamcha is back. We have Tien, Chaozu, Krillin, Master Roshi, and we even have Android 17 and 18. Like, it's the whole Z Fighter crew. We don't have Goten and Trunks, which I'm going to talk about that a bit later in this review. Kind of still have a problem with that, but it is what it is. I'll get to that. But yeah, we have Piccolo and Gohan, of course, leading the charge as they combat the forces of Moro. Now, it's like, this is the kind of chapter that you really need, we really need to see animated if and when the Dragon Ball Super anime does come back, because yo, it's gonna be one of those spectacular moments for the series, honestly. I mean, just the fact that Yamcha is here and doing stuff. So yeah, but anyway, we have a number of fights set up throughout the chapter. We have Piccolo and Gohan as they go up against 7-3, and we have the rest of the Z fighters engaging in fights all over the world because Moro's forces aren't, this isn't like Resurrection F where the fight was in one central location against everybody, but so yeah, we have fights taking place all over the world. We have Krillin going out with Master Roshi, and then the two of them splitting up to handle Moro's forces here. We have Tien and Chaozu there. We didn't get any action per se with Tien and Chaozu, but yeah, it is what it is. But we did get Yamcha actually going in and taking out some of the forces of Moro there. And of course, it's cool to see that the Galactic Patrol are actually supporting each member of the Z fighters, and yo, trust me, it's cool. Now we have an interesting fight against 7-3 here. Honestly, the art for this chapter was pretty good, like the art and choreography, if I'm being honest. Just like, yo, even the scenes where we got where Gohan was basically just hopping off the different energy blasts, obviously it's I feel like Toyotaro was taking some cues from the Tournament of Power with, you know, Goku sliding over energy blast, or, you know, that final, well, not the final scene is Jiren, but the final scene of Ultra Instinct Goku versus Jiren, where it's like bouncing off the various energy blasts. Yo, I think you took some cues from that, but yeah, it was pretty cool to see the cues, the action, the choreography. We have Gohan going in using the string, well, it's an energy shield, but it's just not something you see that often these days from our heroes. So Gohan, Piccolo pulling out some cool teamwork, combining the Masenko and the special beam cannon, taking out 7-3. But I think one of the key moments in this chapter was the introduction of androids 17 and 18 coming back in, and Piccolo's decision. Like, I know Piccolo, for the most part, in a lot of these recent Dragon Ball Super arcs, hasn't been portrayed as the strategist that we believe he should be, but the decision of Piccolo to include our call-ins android 17 and 18 perfect idea. As I said, or as we know, androids are cyborgs. They're basically cyborgs. They don't have ki in a traditional sense, as we already know, because way back from the android arc, we can't actually sense our keys. They can't key sense androids. So Piccolo uses that concept to use them against 7-3, because of course we still know he has the ability to switch to Moro's ability to actually drain life energy, well, or just drain energy in general, but apparently Moro's abilities can't actually drain the energy of Android 17-18 because they don't have ki in the traditional sense, at least. Granted, I was kind of wondering how that would work, because Moro drains life energy, and at the end of the day they still should have life energy, but I guess I'm not complaining. They didn't get too, it's Dragon Ball, so they're not gonna get too specific, so it still works out for me, and it makes sense. And of course it highlights Piccolo bringing back his character to a respectable respectable point in time for me, so that was definitely another plus for the chapter. Of course, towards the end we get Moro, Vegeta, and Goku, the three key players who will basically be the deciding factors in how this fight turns out, which we know they're going to win, obviously, and the Z, so obviously. But we have a bit of Moro deciding that being disappointed in his troops, and deciding who he's going to actually drain of their energy first, so he's going to be joining the battle next chapter more than likely. We have Vegeta, who can sense the battle because he's improved spirit control. His spirit control lessons have increased his ki sense, so he knows battle is going on, but he's decided not to come to Earth just yet because he needs to finish mastering his technique, which rightfully so makes sense. Doesn't make sense going if you can't actually get the job done. And at the end we have this funny scene of Goku not being able he's lost in space. I know the question is going to come up, why doesn't Goku just use instant transmission to get back to Earth? Probably we might get that addressed in the next chapter or two, because probably it's just outside the sphere of, I mean, in the past we've seen that Goku has a limit to how far he can sense and use instant transmission, so probably once he gets within a certain range, he'll then instant transmission to Earth. So that's more than likely the case, because we actually don't know where Mira's planet is in relation to Earth. Well, the planet they were training on, that had access to that different hyperbolic time chamber. So yeah, it is what it is. So it's not too much of a stretch to think that Goku's just outside the range of using his instant transmissions to get back to Earth, and it's fine. Honestly, these three key players, being out of the fight for now, it's fine, because having the entirety of the Z fighters back and making use of these characters that people have long forgotten, or just think that they'll never get their shine again, seeing everybody back and together, it was the highlight of the chapter. There's not much else to say about it. The art, choreography, and inclusion and utilization of all these cool characters, definitely a plus. But I think the thing for me is I just hope going forward we get more of these characters, especially Yamcha, because I feel like they might just go ahead to redeem his character overall. But all in all, chapter 56 of Dragon Ball Super was a fun chapter, definitely enjoyable. I highly recommend it if you haven't read it just yet. And yeah, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, let me know what you thought about the chapter and my thoughts, and this whole discussion slash review on the whole. And I'll see you on the next one. Of course, if you haven't checked out my Boruto review, it will be in the end screen here. But yeah, Sanju Uchiha, rate, comment, subscribe. I appreciate all the help I get on this channel, road to 1,000, and I'll see you guys in the next one.